And do we have sound? Can anyone hear me? Pong, 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 pong. Fuck it. A bit of a delayed reaction, but who cares? All right. Yes, you can hear me, so we have sound. That's why I had to tell Matty B to go fuck himself because I wonder if we're going to have sound tonight. All right, so before we do anything, let us begin. This is our prayer, that we reach the bottom of the glass safely, that we reach the bottom of the glass to find the truth, that we reach the bottom of the glass to find the stories. To Jack Daniels or whatever you're drinking, from pineapple juice to juice boxes, I don't care. Drink now. Now, did you guys see what happened there? Do you see what that? The super chat, nothing went in there. You know why? I have an inkling. I have an inkling as to why. If you guys don't know what the word inkling means, go fucking look it up. Because you're children. You're under the age of 35. You don't know what inkling means. I know what inkling means. You know why? Because I've got one. I got a goddamn inkling. Let's go into here real quick and see if we can't figure this out. I think, if I had to think, dashboard. And then we're supposed to type in the jar. And then we're supposed to do the jar and empty the jar. So I'll bet you that's what it was, even though it was invisible, even though it looked like it was empty. Now, let's see, the next one that goes in there, if somebody puts in $1, anything over $1 and 1 cent, then the jar will, I bet you, I don't think it's turned upside down. I wasn't having a hallucination. I'm telling you, I think that jar is now where it's supposed to be. There, Wicked Widget. All right, Wicked knows what that means. Wicked Widget had an inkling. I had an inkling. Together, we had 2 inklings. I'm not sure if there's a plural for inklings, but it sounds like inklings. Let's see. Let's make sure they go in this time. What do you say? Oh, look at that. Because the jar was not empty. No, 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 no. No, no, no. It was full. It was full of invisible balls. And I'm not sure which one of you dropped your invisible balls, but they're in there and now they're gone. So we started to drink tonight. I would say hello to everybody. Let me scroll through. How about if I just say hello to the people that are in white? You know, that's not a racist thing. It's white versus green, so that's white versus green. I guess if you're white people, you're white. If you're green, you're aliens from Mars. The whites are the non-members. There's some of those. Let's see. David Black tip $5. Let's see what happens here with David. David Black, cheers, General. Thank you. Don't make me drink again, David. I just did that. Don't make me drink again. I'll drink the next one to you, David Black, I promise. I remember his name. I remember saying in the last live stream, I won't forget his name. And I didn't. I remember that I said I wasn't going to forget. How's that? Quiz me on that after I've had 6 shots. Let's see how sharp I am. Hey, Low Torque. Chlorophyll. More like Borophyll. Name the movie. Oh, Chlorophyll. More like Borophyll. God, it was a comedy. It was Chlorophyll. More like Borophyll. I feel like I'm teetering on should know that one. Chlorophyll. More like. God damn it, Low Torque. Why are you fucking with me? I totally called you today and I saved your ass. I straightened you out. And this is how you treat me? This is what you're doing? Well, just for $20, I'll let you abuse me a little bit. But we were talking on the phone today, man. You're fucking with me now. Jesus, H-Tap Dancing Christ. You got to tell me that one, Low Torque. Got to get it to me. Wisen Oaks in here. Bum, 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 bum. Cave Bear, the Tasteless Chef. And scrolling down, we got Tomash and our man from Israel. Baby Angel, KJ, Texas, KJ. 3 letters that should be very easy to say together, KJ and Texas. Well, Texas isn't a letter, but it's a T. It's a T for a KJT, but it's KJ. You know what? It's KJ. And I'm moving on. Dude, Cave Bear again. Gerald Martin's in the room, and we talked to Wise and Oak again. Tell me he got good sound. Treetop, that's a new name for me. It's not. I mean, I've heard the name treetop. Well, not as a name, but I've heard treetop. Don't say when I say treetop. I've never heard it before. Of course, I've heard it before. I mean, there's been thousands of treetop, treetop, treetop. But I'm just saying that I don't recognize it in the comment thread. I was given a recognition to. You guys are fucking with me way more than you should. You know that, right? Yeah. Dr. Shrimp Puerto Rico, Shot Blood 09 says, hey, pom, 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 pom. Ricky Davis says, loud and clear. Justin Ride's back in the house. We'll probably see Justin Ride later on in the chat room. Tasteless Chef again said, toast, acknowledging me there. And then, Missy. Was that Missy? Did she do that? There's no subscribers yet. You guys are stacking it up. The subscribers are going to get stuck on top. That's what's going to happen. Yeah. Oh, so there we go. 37 here said, tips up. No, that wasn't tips up 37 Hertz. But look at all the people giving me little props there for my drink. That's Wicked, Jake, Circle K, Tim 37 Hertz, Circle K again, Maddie B, Trevor Thomas, Mrs. 4, the lovely ever present, delicate as a flower, my ass, Mrs. 4. I have no idea if she's delicate. She just doesn't handle me very delicately from time to time. So I'm going to say no. All right, let's skip down to the bottom. All right, let's get to the point of the matter here. Missy Pessy whispers to the general. Billy Madison. Oh. Yeah, I probably should have got that. That's almost, you know what? I have a drink because I should have got that right. Low torque, that's one I should have got. I feel that's one I should have known. And I didn't, and I'm gonna drink. And you stumped me. I should have got that one. If it's something dumb that I shouldn't have got, then I'm gonna tell you I'm not drinking. But that one, low torque, you got me. Okay, so we have the two moderators over here. We have Miss Liz, and we have the ever present and lovely Allie. Who did a super chat right there? Somebody dropped another one in there. Hold on now. You're getting ahead of me. Barry Dano, another raise in my pay today. I'll share it with you, bud. Sinatra Fund. My man, I'm going to get me some. I'm going to get me some of that. Barry, you are still the favorite customer. Gen X Mom loves you. In fact, we had a discussion today about the mugs. Once we get the beer steins in, we're worried about packaging. We want to make sure when they get them to us, we package them correctly where they don't break. And I said, look, whatever you're thinking, send one to Barry. That dude's so far away, and the mail service is so fucked up there. If it survives to Barry Dano, we're good anywhere else in the world. So, Barry, you're going to get your shit first just to make sure that it's a trial run, and like sending up a balloon to make sure everything goes well. All right. What, am I not centered again? I look like I'm... That's blank, so I'm good, right? Oh, centered. All right. Boy... All right, how's that? Is it better? Are we good now? Jesus Christ. Get centered. I'm telling you guys, you guys are fun. You guys are whooping my ass over here. I've got we have the two moderators over in the comment section, but between the sheets, usually I've just got Allie over here, but now I have Liz and Allie between the sheets, and I'm getting my ass handed to me. That's what's going on. The fuck's with the dinosaur? Pledge $1 via Patreon. How would we know? How would I know that? How did a Patreon dinosaur get in here? The fuck is going on? Is it Friday the 13th? This is some weird shit. What's the other one here? It was G'day from Australia, like Australia. Hector Martinez said, did you ever watch Blazing Saddles? Many times. Jay Hill, oh my God, I got one of your live streams. About time. You're awesome. Thanks for hanging out, Jay. It's going to be a train wreck, Jay. You should leave now. And Matt, a.k.a. G-Man, Matt Man. He goes, you got this channel on point. Every time I watch it gets better and better. Yeah, well, that's like just watching The Exorcist. It gets funnier every single time. Two Bear, General, you tell him I'm coming, and hell's coming with me. Two Bear. That's a Tombstone reference, my man. You know I was going to get that one. So we're back down at the bottom. Tomash with $2.90, our number one Israeli counterpart, guarding the eastern border for all of us over there from the bottom of the glass nation. Mr. Fatty, did your boat have a big block Chevy? No. My boat had a small block Chevy. And there you go. So, Yeah, you're gonna make me cry, Mr. If I don't talk about my boat. That's not nice. Those are unnice, unkind things to be talking about. All right, so here's the gig. I got a pretty good screen set up right now. I can see myself, which is the most important thing. I can see myself, and the little microphone meter down there says that you can hear me. That's number 2. The chat's buzzing over here, but God, you guys are just, the girls between the sheets are fucking killing me. Jay Kane, welcome. He's an extra. I didn't see the little dude fall. Did he bounce out? Because I didn't see it. Boom, boom, boom. Wicked Widget. Yes, I read that one. Didn't know what it means. And don't read anything below this line was the other thing I was supposed to do there. All right, so we got 2 members showing up. We have Jay Kane. Welcome. He's an extra. And we also have Coyote Red. Welcome to the Legion of X. Listen, to both of you new members, let me start with an apology. I know you spent hard-earned money to get here. I know that it doesn't seem like much, and $1 or $2 or $3 to join, that's only like a tenth of a gallon of gas. I got it, but it still is money you earned, and I'm sorry you wasted it here. Now, you can't get it back. You can take it back next month, but right now, you're stuck. That 99 cents, that $2.99, we get it. We keeping it. We ain't giving it back. You just joined a train wreck. Now, that's on you. You should have done a little more homework. You should have done a little bit more research. You could have done something with that, and you didn't, so you're stuck with it now, all right? Now you just got to be who you are. There's no changing it. I would apologize profusely, but I think one apology is enough. All right, so Barry Dano's coming in with his tip. Dum, dum, dum. Super chat money coming in there. And I don't see why we're not getting the member thing. That's kind of bugging me, man. I don't even know how to fix that, to be honest with you. I wish I could, because that was really funny. But I don't get to make those decisions, do I? No. Let me look real quick here. Let me look and see if there's something that can be done on the thing with the stuff in there. And it says disabled and turned on, and it says right there, it says there's monsters and shit for stuff. I don't see why it wouldn't come through. Oh, you know why? Because it just has tips and donations checked. The other ones weren't checked. Now they were unchecked. Now they're checked, and then I hit save settings. So now if anybody joins, I bet it'll show up there. That's what I'm thinking. And the jar will refill, and now subscribers and donations and shit will have this. And I do apologize. I do apologize for fucking that up. That was on me. My bad. My fault, you guys. My fault. All right. When is it never my fault? You fuckers blame me anyway. Even if it wasn't my fault, you blame me. All right. The sheets. Between the sheets. The 2 girls between the sheets. I think you said saddles. I said Blazing Saddles. What was it supposed to be? I did say Saddles. Hector Martinez said, "Did you ever watch Blazing Saddles?" I replied with, "Yes, I saw Blazing Saddles." I think you said Saddles. I did say Saddles. Saddles is, you know what? Barry Dana, my truth glass came in a week ago in one piece. Tell Honey Bun, great packing job. Once again, excuse me, Honey Bun? Yeah. That's you. Barry Dana called you Honey Bun and let you know that your packing was outstanding. Nice. Just letting you know. All right, Barry, fuck off. Don't tell him thank you. You're just going to encourage. Barry, go on now. Go. Yes, it could be erased, Liz. Gilly Nation, wonder if the General and Gen X mom could sit together and have a story time about the ups and downs they had during their journey of life. We've done that twice, I think, in the last year. It doesn't happen very often. It's a good suggestion, Gilly. But if you go listen to the podcast, I think one of the lovely ladies would put up the link to the podcast. The one that just dropped today has something. Oh, Curtis Rip tip $2. Just subscribe. We got a subscriber and $2. Now the subscriber and the member both live. Nothing's gone. If you listen to today's podcast, I'm sure the girls will put it up for you. That's that was a kind of a joint thing. The kid wasn't in it because the kid was sick with COVID, so we did our things together like that. And it was kind of an intervention for me into, oh, he bumped right. Became a member, and KJ became a member and fucking dropped in there and bounced his ass right fucking out. He's got to be pissed. Michael Bardwell, member for 4 months. Monday is 5 years sober for me, General, but will never keep me away from this band of married degenerates. Well, thank you. Michael, you've contributed so much. I'd hate to see you go. Stay strong in your position, man. I'm with you. I am. I praise you for your efforts. Thank you for hanging out all this time. I mean, it's one thing to get back on this train wreck over and over again, and you keep doing it. Thank you. So where was I? What was I saying? Oh, you guys erased the whole board. Great. Now I can't tell what the fuck I was talking about. I had something really important to say. I can't remember what I was saying now. The girls just ruined it. Oh, the podcast. Yeah, it was an intervention where I had to go to mom and pry out of her the stories of her youth. Unfortunately, we only got from like 3 years old to about 15, so she really didn't do any fucked up shit. It was all ice creams and the rules of being a Gen X kid. We did an interview. It was about half an hour long, a little over that. The whole podcast was about 40 minutes. But the girls put up the link for you. You guys can go check it out sometime. And it was just her and I. And it was just about two kids growing up in the 70s and 80s in the San Fernando Valley and Los Angeles area. And I don't know. It kind of seemed fun. It was fun to do it. It was short, but it seemed like it was to the point. A lot of people sent some good emails. So if you're looking for something like that, that's a way to do it. Lotork has become a member, and his purple splooge just little man in a glass. Lotork says, "I got you." All right, so Mikey like 36. Remember, if you guys have good questions, the girls are writing them down over here, and then I'm going to go read them. You know, I'm going to go read what they say. I'm not reading the ones in here. I got two people reading and posting them for me, so I can go read them. So you guys are writing. They're transfer them over here. If you got something good, put it in line. They'll put it down for you. Don't ask something stupid. Okay, got to ask something. You know, at least something with a little depth. You know, the deepest question I got on Facebook today was, and I did the same format for them, did the same format for Facebook. The deepest question I got was, "Sir, what's the better TV show, Airwolf or Blue Thunder? Come on, tell me now. Answer me, goddammit!" And they were mad. They were mad even when I answered. And I got it right. I knew which one it was. I'm not stupid. I was there. Mikey, like I just watched your thoughts on when the kids turned 18. It changed my angle for when my 17-year-old turns 18. Mikey, I hope there's some just good information. Remember, Mikey, parent how you want, okay? You parent how you want to parent. But if there's some things in there that you can use as a tool to use in your household, then great. Because my advice is shit, and I stole it from someone else. So I don't know if their advice was any good. I lied and plagiarized everything. I don't think there was one original thought in there. I haven't had an original thought since 1973. So I guarantee, Mikey, everything in there was full of shit and I was wrong. But if there's a couple tools in there that you can use that helps you in your parenting, then all of my rambling was worth it. Thank you for the kind words. I really appreciate it. And I hope things work out. I really do. All right, so got some dropping in there. Everybody stays. 2 members and 1 ugly little Stretch Armstrong looking subscriber, and he's staying. All right, so Mikey Likes is good. Joshua Danley was a great podcast, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. Thank you, Joshua. I knew you'd listen, and I know you'd give me an honest answer. Thank you for that. Gen X Mom likes hearing those things, too. Sometimes you guys drop her an email, and you comment on some stuff on the podcast, especially when she's in it. She likes hearing the nice stuff, too, believe me. Shane says, "Did you get the email I sent you with the link for Steve-O's hot sauce for your butt?" Oh, no, I got it. I haven't gone there yet, Shane. I will. David Black, "I would like to know how the general feels about the recent Second Amendment victory in Capitol Hill." Yeah. Didn't they shut down the New York? Didn't they just lay the fucking hammer down and go, "You can't do that? That's not how this goes"? And what did the governor of New York come out and say the first thing when she run out there and, "Oh, you can't tell us what to do"? Those were her words. The Supreme Court didn't tell us what. Yeah, as a matter of fact, they do. That's kind of the whole fucking point of taking things to the Supreme Court. You know what was funny was that the same group, the same team of people and lawyers ran a previous one up the flagpole all the way to the Supreme Court, and right before it got heard, they pulled it. So they kept everybody in limbo, kept everybody in suspense, kept everything dragging out. But they kind of figured they'd lose, so they pulled back. This one, they actually go all the way through, and they got the fucking hammer dropped on them, didn't they? I mean, there's not a clearer message of what you're fucking doing is wrong. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Who just got rid of that subscriber? What was that? Was that Matty B's $10 that fucking got him, or was that what's the matter? Been missing you a bunch of degenerates? Hope all is well. Let's bounce some members. It was probably her then. There's 2 of you. The members are still in there. There's 2 members in there. I can see them in there. They're right there. 2 of them. But you kicked that one subscriber, 1 Stretch Armstrong guy, and he's fucking gone. Anyway, yeah, that was the Supreme Court. You know what I saw? Greg had something on his program that I thought was great. And I'll see if you guys, Sotomayor, she had a little speech, and it was all on her affection for Clarence Thomas. Did you hear who was saying what about who? Yeah. Sotomayor was just praising her friendship and her loyalty as a friend to Clarence Thomas and saying how they can go to lunch, they sit together, they talk together, even though they're polar opposites on the political spectrum. Do you think that CNN played that? Do you think that MSNBC played that, even though that's a bonding, that is a moment when opposite sides are coming together? Do you think they dare play something that heals division? No, 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 no. They have division being healed at the Supreme Court level. She stood in front of a group in front of cameras and said, Clarence Thomas is my friend and he's a great man. And she had specific compliments for the guy. He knows every name of every person that works in the building. I mean, just went on and on. And she said that they're polar opposites, they're the political differences, and they're friends? Oh, no, 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 no. We can't have that here. We've been dividing people. Come on, we don't do that. You think anybody played that anywhere? No. Greg played it on his show, but that was it. Yeah, I'm just letting you know. All right, so let me jump over to one I don't want to miss. R. Collins for $20. I think Collins is just trying to knock those two members out. I don't think he might get one of them, the one nearest me, but he's not going to get that other one. Not with a $20. No. There's one. No, even that one stayed. The other dude got a little deeper. He got a little more layer of protection there. All right. I think you did this top two. I did Mikey. I did Josh. We got those. We did Shane's. The top three I already got, you guys. You guys are just ruining my day. I don't know what you think you're doing here. Boom, gone. Maddie B says, cheers, just to see the newbies bounce out. Shot Blood 09, would you ever try a one-chip challenge? Listen, that's a tough one. Oh, we got a member coming in. Who's it? Mikey Light. Here he comes. The glass is full, Mikey. Mortimer Duke. I will not be trading places with you. He's dropping $10. Nope. Just making that bunker tougher. Mikey Light 363. He's an extra. His has got to be coming in there. Mortimer Duke did his a little bit for. Mikey's coming in, but the glass is full. I think when Mikey Light 3636 hits that, he's going to fucking bounce himself right out. And believe me, what you can't tell, and I know you can't see it here, but when you bounce out of that jar, it's a long fall down to the floor. I mean, it's centuries to get to the bottom. I know you think I'm just sitting here, but I'm actually on a pedestal that's about 40 stories high. So when you fall off of that shit over there, or over here, you're in trouble. That's what happens. You fall and you just... Come on, where's Mikey? Where's my extra? Where's my member? Come on, Mikey, jump in the fucking glass. I don't know what's going on. Let's see what I got here. So Shot Blood said, would I ever try the one chip challenge? If we're on the same page on that, that's the one chip where the hot sauce goes right on the chip. So you get the whole thing. There are some hot sauces I don't think I could even take one drop of. I don't believe I can. Dennis Fox become a member? There's one. Oh, he stayed. How did he fucking hit that little crevice right there? That's just dumb luck. I'm telling you. All right. So Shot Blood, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I could. That's that one chip challenge. If you're talking about where they put like the plutonium 9 right on the end of the chip, god damn, I'd have to. I don't know. I think if I mixed plutonium 9 with gasoline, I think it would dilute it enough to where I could probably take a drink. Maybe. Quentin Weiss, didn't realize you were such a Joe Rogan fan. That quote I sent you yesterday about soft times and hard men. Yeah, Joe Rogan has used that quote quite a bit. Soft times make hard men, and hard men is you create soft times. But we have gotten those on our comment section for videos for 2 years. I mean, anytime. So that is I think that is the most copy and pasted thing that anyone has done. So yes, I'm very well aware of it. I have seen it because it's been a fucking thing for a long time in my face. All right. Marsha Whitfield, member for 3 months, Legion of X, lost my brother today. Will you join me in a shot? Are you serious? Marsha Whitfield, how did I miss that comment through the ropes? I didn't mean to. Yes. Marsha, you really lost your brother today? I'm sorry you got to go through that. And there's no words that are going to make this any easier. Not even a week from now. maybe just realize that you're not alone. And it bothers me, and it's going to bother me for a little bit here now. It's one of those topics that hit me, and everybody knows this. Everybody's been around me for a long time knows that. Marshall, yeah, I'll raise a glass to you, my friend. I'd do more than that if we were here, but that's all I've got, and you shall have it. Sorry about that, Marshall. That's a shitty thing to have to go through. And there's been a lot of that going around, hasn't there? Haven't we heard a lot of those stories in the last 6 months? We've had a lot of that stuff happen. Maybe it's us. Maybe we're attracting that stuff. Maybe the cosmic universe is out to get us because it just seems like we've all been suffering in that area. Uh, Lori Casillas is in here. My husband lost his brother today also. Really? That's Lori, are you kidding me? Just so you guys know, Lori doesn't frequent these chambers too often, but Lori is someone I've known for 30 years. Has it been 30 years? About that? Maybe a little longer? I'm sorry, Lori. That's another bad thing to have to. Here it comes. Just piling on Gen X Talks tonight. And it's saying, you know what, though? We can fucking take it. If there's questions that need to be asked, if there's drinks and glasses that need to be raised, then fuck it. Then that's what we'll do. If we have to dedicate a whole night to doing that, to talking and consoling and just shutting the fuck up and being there, then that's what we'll do. Yeah, you can't stop us. We'll do whatever we fucking want. If that's what it takes, then that's what it takes. We'll know more as the night goes on. We will, but we're gonna fucking we're gonna tighten up our bootstraps, pull our caps down tight, keep going. Fuck that. I'm not. Unbelievable. That's two in like 10 minutes. This whole last couple months has been something, hadn't it? Coyote Red welcomes Legion of X. I think I already got that one. I may not have, but I was trying to. What's the matter? Been missing you a bunch of degenerates. Hope all as well as bounce some members. We got that one. R. Collins, we got his. Mortimer Duke, media is full of more tools than a snap-on truck. Mortimer Duke, I will not be trading places with you, sir. Media is full of more tools than a snap-on truck. That's a good one. Fucking, I should have used that. Twan Irwin, question. Whoa, what happened there? Twan Irwin, question. Okay, if you guys aren't going to let me read it. Twan Irwin, question. How is the water level at Lake Mead affecting you where you live and your thoughts? It's not yet. I mean, we're in a drought. Lake Mead is it's really low, but everyone's just kind of walking around going, hey, we're in a drought. Everybody's trying to conserve a little bit, but nobody's in panic mode over it, which maybe they should be, especially since that Little Pacific project hasn't even started yet as far as I know. Wish they'd do something with that. Sounds like a great idea. Yeah, okay, so Twan Irwin, yeah, not yet, and it's low, it's bad. We've only had, last 10 or 12 years, we've only had two really super good wet seasons where the snowpack in the Sierra Nevadas was probably like 125% of normal, but that's just 2 years out of like 10 or 12. That not going to cut it. We're not filling anything back up with that kind of stuff. Yeah. James Bush says my boy turns 11 tomorrow. He's getting a K-bar knife. Well done. Right on track. Mastiff Nomad. Have you heard anything by Tom McDonald? Yeah, I've heard his stuff. I really wasn't tuned into him until you guys, a couple years back, you guys all started sending me links and stuff. So I've paid closer attention to listen to his stuff. He's got a lot of good stuff to say. He's got more one-liners than I do. He's got more catchphrases, I think, than I do. Crystal Joseph, a dad like you, man, I love the way you are so real and intelligent. Just, you guys can't fucking jump the screen while I'm reading it. Crystal Joseph, a dad like you, man, I love the way you are so real and intelligent just here, but I really appreciate your thinking just great. Well, Crystal Joseph. Crystal Joseph, that's two first names, man. There's something wrong there. You've almost got three first names, then we can't be friends, but thank you for the kind words. I do appreciate you listening. I really, really do. All right. So let me go back up because it says don't read anything in here, so I'm not going to. Maybe don't read. Yeah, I'm gonna skip that one and we'll move on. Two Bear, can we get Circle the Wagons now? You guys are never gonna let me live that down. I swear. That was, for those of you who don't know, there was a live stream not too far back. I guess it was, what was it, about 10 days ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and we were on for like 3 hours, and I was so hammered. I got up the next morning, didn't remember what I'd said. I don't get hangovers, so I was pretty clear of thought. But you guys were like, I got emails and text messages. Right on, man. Circle the wagons. That was great. And I said, what? Circle the wagons? What are you talking about? Man, when you had us all circle the wagons, man, I could feel it. I was there. And I was like, yeah, circle the fucking wagons, man. What? And then I had to be told. And then it was what was the other one? Oh, the pomegranates. He goes, man, when you at the end of the show, when you're talking about pomegranate stains on the counter, that was some real shit, man. It's like, pomegranate stains on the counter? The fuck you talking about? No, this dude comes in and he's like, you don't understand, man, I need some help. And you're like, I got the answers, man. If you got problems in your marriage, pomegranates, man. Pomegranates. I'm too embarrassed to even go back and see what the fuck I was talking about. I gotta be honest with you. I don't even want to go back and look. Oh my God. I don't know what to say about that. I don't know what to say about that. Oh, all right. So nothing over here from the ladies between the sheets. So I'm going to go back over the comment section. And remember, I have no agenda tonight. Tonight, we're just sitting around the campfire talking. We're just sitting around the bar, shooting the shit, having a few drinks. I'd light a stogie if I could, but I'm indoors and Gen X Mama's home. If she was out of town for a few days, I could probably get away with it, just on principle. But she's not. She's here, so I'm restricted. I'm not grounded, but I can't play with all my toys. So, Rebecca says, have you heard of Buddy Brown, the Marine rapper? I have not. I don't know who that is. No. Move that over here. I got to shrink that a little bit because the fucking white is blinding me. I'll check in with you ladies in a minute. All right. What do we got? So, how do you feel about Johnny Walker? I have met Johnny Walker. I have spent time with Johnny Walker. I don't care for Johnny Walker as much as I do Jack Daniels, just so you know. All right. Let the freedom ring, my friend, says Trevor Thomas, and he's absolutely right. Let's take a shot for Gen X. There we go. This guy's General. Michael Bardwell's puffing away. Mrs. Four Wattens with Trevor on that one. New Era Music. Late to the party as usual. What up, General? Thank you very much. What up, you all? New Era Music. There's room for the ranks. Following the ranks in the back there. We got room for you. Ricky Fatboy Baker has become a member. Here he goes. Wow. There is 4 dudes in there now. Something's going to happen. Doug Vanderhoop, does anyone have a parachute? Why, you jumping out of this plane before it hits the mountain? Don't you dare quit on us, Doug. None of that. All right. Ricky Fatboy, member for 4 months. I got that one there. And so Mrs. Forrest talking to New Era. Eric Cuddleson, hi from Tennessee, and I prefer Johnny. You're allowed to. Wait, if you're in Tennessee, are you allowed to do that? Isn't there like a state law? I'm just asking. All right, there's some stuff over here. Some of you guys are chiming in. What do I got? I can't see that far up the screen, so hopefully there's nothing up there. Cammant. General, do you think there's hope in family values returning society with the growth of debauchery and departure from God? Yes. Yes, I do. And the reason I do is simple. I've mentioned this before, that Gen Z kid has he has friends, a tight group of friends at his school, some classes and stuff like that, especially in FFA. But he also has, there's a ton of people at his school that know him and they interact. But it's not just there; it's online. It's all the thousands of people that are his age that are fans of his. Another subscriber, he's gone. It hit the purple dude, like the guy was just like right there. Like, get the fuck out of here. We're members. Pong. Generation Z, which is Gen Z kids, his age group. There is so many weird things they're doing collectively that have nothing to do with an organized anything. Not organized gang. It's not an organized movement. It's not organized anything. And yet you see these kids making value changes on their own, a whole generation. Now, I'm not talking about the Tide Pod eaters. There's a bunch of those that are dumb as a bag of hammers, every one of them. But I'm going to guess that we're about 80% of them are not those kids. And they're making a stand in weird, unconventional ways. They're not standing up to their teachers like, yeah, man, power to the people, fight the man. You're part of society. You're part of the problem. No, that was the 60s. That's not what they're doing. But when teachers tell these kids their points of view, you got an English teacher that goes off on flat earth. You got a history teacher that gets off on global warming. You got a math teacher that gets off on political science stuff. And they're communicating all that stuff. You have a whole generation of kids that go, all right, can we just get back to math? Well, haven't you heard what I told you? Yeah, I heard you. Well, you believe it, don't you? I don't know, maybe. I'm a teacher. I'm educated. I'm a professor. I just told you. And the kids very politely go, you know what? I'll figure this out on my own. I'm not interested in hearing any more from you. Are you listening to what I'm telling you? There's a whole generation of kids that are doing that on their own. There's not some leader that is swooping in and saying, now when your teachers tell you this, this is how you respond. This is how you They're not doing that. There's no group meeting at lunchtime in the quad that are discussing strategy. This is just a generation of kids that on their own are just out there living in a direction. And what you were asking about family values, they're doing that too. Everything from respect of yes, sir, and yes, ma'am, firm handshake, looking people in the eye, to their sexual activity with remaining virgins and by their choice. It's just, and they don't care. It's almost, and I know peer pressure is out there. I know it is. But it's almost like they don't see it as clearly as I did. It's amazing. It's something, I'm telling you, every week, there are more and more reports all over the country, from ground level all the way to the top, of the pendulum swinging the other way. Greg said the other night, he goes, we should have a department in government called Enough, where some dude comes out, all right, that's enough. That's enough. And then he goes back in and says, because you're done, Department of That's Enough. That's kind of what it's like. These kids are just like, okay, we've heard you. It's enough. Stop. Quit preaching global warming. We got it. We heard you. We'll figure it out what we feel about it later. But boy, these teachers, these educators, they want a commitment. They want to hear you say, I've shown you all the evidence. I've shown you everything. Come on, you're not stupid, are you? And they just look at them and go, can we just get back to class? It is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life. When an entire collective generation on their own, without any central leader, starts doing this stuff. And it's your question too. It is at-home values seem to be trending that same way. It's amazing. Now, you're always going to find some bad apples, and you can say, oh, well, I just saw a kid over here in Chicago who's fucking everything up and burning houses down. Oh, well, then apparently you're right and I'm wrong. There'll always be people that bring up the one example and try to pretend that's the normal. I'm telling you, there's thousands and thousands and thousands. When I listen in on his Twitch conversations while he's playing video games, with 700 different people each night, I'm telling you that the emails and the text messages and the camaraderie that all of these kids have, for some weird reason, I'm telling you, the pendulum is swinging. And it's not just with them. It's all levels. It is like people have just had enough of the stuff. I was hoping that I'd live long enough to see this. And it's happening right now. And I think it's going to keep happening all the way to the November elections. And I'm going to write down every excuse that I know that I'm going to hear the morning after the elections. I'm going to write them all down, and I'm going to post them going, this is what everyone's going to say tomorrow. It's in their playbook, page 37. This is what you recite when you get your ass kicked, and it's coming. Michelle Glass has become a member for 3 months, and she's dropping in there. Oh, they all stayed. Michelle Glass member for 3 months. Bottom of the Glass Nation. Didn't change the pick. Feel horrible. Found out I have COVID fever past few days. Sweetheart, then you just wait. I'm thankful that you're even listening. I really am. Who was that? You got rid of 2 members. Who did that? David Hemphill. David Hemphill, you came in with $5. You got rid of 2 members. 2 squishy, lovable purple aliens, and you just fucked them right out of the glass. I hope you're proud of yourself, David. I really hope you are. Realized the other day that I'm a Gen Y guy with a Gen X mentality and personality that was raised by the greatest generation. Thoughts? Yeah, if first of all, if you were raised by the greatest generation, I already know what kind of a man you are. It goes without saying. A big part of my life was being raised by my grandparents, the greatest generation. My grandfather joined the Army right after Pearl Harbor, and my grandmother worked at Lockheed building airplanes. When the men all went to war, she went down to Lockheed and riveted. Yeah. So I know exactly how you were raised. If you didn't, you're not a Gen Y. Then you are a Zennial with an X. Get rid of the MIL in front of millennial. MIL. Get rid of that. Just put an X there for Generation X. It's the way you were raised. You're a Zennial with an X. Go buy a T-shirt that says that. People will understand later. Michelle Glass, $5 for the whiskey fund. Michelle, you do realize that you thank you for the $5, but you're going to put a couple members out on their asses right now, or at least one. I'm thinking one. All right. What else did I miss here? Bum, bum, bum. Oh, nope. Arian Moore just subscribed. Michelle Glass tip. This is going to be interesting. And he's Oh, doesn't matter. Michelle sealed his fate. Michelle hit that and 3 balls went right his direction, pushing him right out. He was fucking done. That man committed suicide because he knew that Michelle Glass's balls were on their way. True story. That's what I heard. What? It's what I heard. Don't be mad at me. I'm just telling you what I heard. You're getting all rowdy with me like I did this or something. I didn't invent this game. Hey, hate the game, not the player. All right. $4.99. Bradley Wellington III, if you please, has stopped by. $4.99. Is a bird in hand really worth 2 in the bush? Thanks, General. Now, I got to ask you something. Bradley Wellington III, if you please. Is that a sexual thing? I'm just asking. Because if it's a sexual thing, I'm a little confused, but is a bird in hand really worth 2 in the bush? Well, if you have a starving family and you're hunting pheasant, grab the one you've got, and who gives a shit about the 2 in the bush, bring it back and cook that thing up. Yes. Now, if that's a sexual reference, then I'm going to say, fuck no, go for broke, man. You just always shoot for the moon. And if you strike out and you end up with nothing, fine. But if you get both of them... My man, Bradley Wellington III, if you please. Jay Kane. What's Jay Kane saying in there? Where was I? Nope. These kids are saying, Jay Kane, these kids are saying, you know what? This is bullshit. I'm going back to common sense. Jay Kane, it seems that way. It seems that we're getting a little bit of that. They're like, I just don't want to listen. I wish I could imitate what's going on in their head, but I don't know that I completely have a grasp of it. I just know the feeling of the movement and the direction, and I'm just trying to interpret it as close as I can, but it's a good feeling. It really is. Bryden Allen, good evening, General. What would you prefer as your first vehicle? Or what would you prefer as your first vehicle? 1990 Mazda Miata 5 or a 2003 Chevy S10. Well, first of all, I don't fit in a fucking Miata. If you're going to get me a 1990 Miata as a first car, I need 2, 1 for each foot, because they're going to be like roller skates. That's where we're starting, Bryden. But as far as workability, 2003 Chevy S10. If you'd have gone like 5 or 8 years before, I'd have said no on the Chevy S10. But 2003 Mazda Miata. If I fit into both of them, I'd probably pick the S10 just because it's a truck. But the Miata MX-5 super reliable, easy car to work on, cheap to work on, easy to fix. And, you know, when you go to kick the tires to see if they're solid, the car just whoosh, right across the lot. So you're good. Small toys, yeah. You can pick them up and stack them in your yard, and you can get a bunch of them. Tamara, Derek, my son did that in 6th grade to his liberal teacher in a respectful way, and then got a call from the school. Went there and stuck up for my son. Tamara, I wouldn't expect anything less from you. Well done. Well done. That's what you needed to do. All right. Gerald Martin, tacos, burgers, or pizza? Yes. Tacos are actually last on my list when it comes to tacos, burgers, and pizza. Just so you know. It's just I don't care for not as much. Mrs. Fort Watton, how's the kid feeling? Better today. We tested him this morning. He still had COVID. He's better. He's moving around. Well, you can tell he's tired of being in that room. I mean, we lower food down to him in the pit. He's doing well. There's Wi-Fi down there. We check the signal. Gen X mom lowered a Nintendo Switch down to him today. He's at the bottom of that pit. We make sure that he has the ample amount of lotion so he can rubs it on his skin. But he's fine. He's just antsy about being down in that cold, dark cellar. And when he's better, we'll let him out. But he's got to pass the COVID test, man. That's it. Laura, have you ever given a thought to what our country and world would be like if the government were actually 100% legit and ran fully honestly, with integrity and for the good of the people? Honestly, you would probably have what the left of the aisle is always pretending they're striving for. You probably would have, if that was absolutely true, everybody was honest and everybody made every decision for the good of the country. I think that America would be as close to a utopia as ever feasibly possible. And I think that every country around us would be benefiting tenfold because of our prosperity. But that's just me. What do I know? I'm just a dumb mechanic in the middle of the desert. Do not listen to anything I'm saying. It's probably all wrong. Rome 13. I always say there should be a get over it act. And how about a department of mind your own fucking business, too? Joey, as a hot sauce lover, what are your thoughts about sriracha shortage? Yeah, those are first world problems. I'm going to be okay with that. It's all total horseshit that we're even in this mess. But I'm going to let that one pass. I'm not going to carry a picket in front of the White House screaming for my hot sauce. If you do, could you carry one in each hand for me? I'll sit back here and drink and cheer you on. All right. Brian Ivany, late millennial or early Gen Z here. I am sick and tired of being told what to think. If I want your advice, I will fucking ask for it. I'm here and haven't moved on, so I like what you say. Brian Ivany, we've spent a little time together. I think the most we spent together was at the casino night, wasn't it? But yeah, no, I got a good feel for you. I want to tell you, out of everything you've said on those when you were live on the casino night, and everything you've ever chimed in about when your comments go by, I may not read them all out loud, but I read as many as I can. I have never had a problem with any position you've ever taken. I absolutely 100% feel that you think for yourself. And to that, tip my hat, sir. Thank you for remaining strong. Doesn't matter your age. You can act whatever way you want. Doesn't matter your age. Yeah. Cave Bear, what's your thoughts about original summer oil and winter oil they had for Model Ts? I found some recently, and it still has phenomenal viscosity. They didn't have multi-grade oils back then. Model Ts and Model As didn't have that, but they did have different weight oils. So of course you could get a thinner oil at one time of the year and a thicker oil. And I wouldn't doubt it. That was stuff they made back then was pretty pure. It was just simple. Now they put every chemical they can into an oil and then sell it at 7-Eleven as brand new. That Ray Lube stuff they sell at 7-Eleven is the most recycled, shitty, run through a garbage bag, grain of salt stuff you've ever seen in your goddamn life. I wouldn't put that in my neighbor's lawnmower and hope it blowed up. I wouldn't even do that to a person. That's how bad it is. Justin Stringfield, $10. Jimmy Carter was the closest to an honest president you could ever have. The problem was the government walked all over him. You got to remember, I was sort of there, so you can read a bunch on it. But hold on. There's a tip through here that might cause some damage. Oh, he stayed. He's at the top, but he stayed. Justin Stringfield, Jimmy Carter was the closest to an honest president you could ever have. The problem was the government walked all over him. A lot of people say that about Ford. And if you are a Democrat, you say, oh, Ford wasn't an honest man. He was a do-nothing. And now they say when Jimmy Carter wasn't an honest man, he did nothing. He let everything slip between his fingers. And, well, I don't know. Jimmy Carter appointed some of the right people. I'll tell you a little secret, and a lot of you aren't going to like this. But in Carter's cabinet and in Carter's appointments that he made, that he put in there for strategy, did you know that when Reagan came in, he kept two of those guys and used that economic strategy that they came up with to get into the Reagan years where things were it was hard took him 2 years to turn things around, but once he did, it really took off. And don't tell me you're full of shit. Let me read you the charts and graphs that I've pulled off the internet. Okay, fuck you. I was there. Okay, go fuck yourself. I don't care about all the shit you read. I know there's liberals that got a bunch of checkpoints, they got a talking points. They're gonna come up with those shit. Fact this and fact two and fact three and fact four. I was there. I don't give a shit. Okay? I woke up in the morning, I walked outside, and you could feel the vibe of the nation getting better. What I'm trying to tell you is that some of the people that he drug over from the Carter administration were responsible for helping do that. Now I'm trying to give you a little bit of credit for your side of the aisle. And you'll take that, and then you'll still pile on driving Reagan, Reagan, Reagan. Well, then why was it so prosperous? That wasn't prosperous. You're just looking at it wrong. If you look at the real numbers, it's all backwards. It was really bad when Reagan was there. Well, it felt pretty good. Yeah, but it didn't. You were being tricked into feeling good, and it was this way. Well, I don't know. I was there, and my parents were prospering. Well, that's only because you lived in a certain area around certain people. Do you realize how asinine you fuckers sound when you say all this dumb shit? Do you realize nobody believes you? Do you realize when you get up and give one of your TED Talks and you start down that road of thinking, especially when you're talking to people that were there, they're just laughing at you waiting for you to get off stage. You try so hard to spin everything around. Oh, I know. And Reagan closed all the mental hospitals and there was mental patients on the street. Yeah, I think that was a bad move. I got why he did it, but I don't agree with that. I didn't say he was perfect. I didn't say Ronald Reagan was God. I didn't say I'd drive out to Simi Valley 3 times a year to kneel at his grave and look at the eternal flame over the Pacific. I didn't say any of that shit. I just said that what you're talking about is fucking wrong. I was fucking there. You're never going to convince me. I don't care how many charts and graphs and focus groups and how much you rewrite history. I'm going to keep throwing those books over my shoulder because I was there. The bad part is going to come when people like me that were there are dead and gone. Then you can rewrite the history and everyone's going to fucking believe you. That's the part that I'm pissed about. Yeah. So, what the fuck, man? There was a little bit of good in there on the Carter side of things. And I don't dislike Carter. I got a lot of friends that hate Carter. Worst Democratic president ever. Yeah, I don't think so. I think kind of a guy who does a little bit of damage is way better than some of the shit I've seen. But, it's just my opinion. So you guys want to climb all over Carter, go ahead. I probably will not be on that bandwagon with you, just so you know. Richard Chavez, what does NASA stand for? Well, NASA used to stand for National Aeronautics and Space Administration, and their NASA JPL Center in Pasadena was the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. I've been there, and I actually have an acquaintance that went to school with that works there. But after Challenger blew up, NASA stood for Need Another 7 Astronauts. Moving on. Now, where were we? Tennessee's, whoa, jumped on me right there. I'm sorry. I was going to read something important about the great state of Tennessee. And then it jumped, and now I don't see it anymore. Yeah, for God's sakes. Now I can't find it. I know I look at all your comments about Jimmy Carter and his peanuts. Yeah, he was peanuts and Reagan was jelly beans. I got it. You guys, all the shit you're talking, Carter was smart, man. He really was. It just is a difficult job being president, and especially when you're trying to be a nice guy and when you're trying to be who you are. That's even tougher. That's why I could be president. I wouldn't care who I fucking pissed off. I don't care. Not even a little bit. You vote me in, you're along for the ride, baby. Love it, leave it, like it. We're in it. That's it. That's why no one would ever elect me in charge of anything. I couldn't even run a Boy Scout troop. We'd be fucking... I wouldn't lose any. Gen X mom goes, you wouldn't even lose any sleep. No. I've heard that those beds in the White House are very comfortable. Plus, you get all the prescribed medication you want. So when I go, I want to be asleep in 5 minutes, they give me a pill, I'm out. I want to be up in 5 minutes, they give me a pill, I'm awake. Don't tell me that's not how it works. That's how it works. I know that's how it works. Don't shut up. Don't even start defending them. Oh, for God's sakes. All right, so where was I? Devin Powers, I would love to hear you read a good book, but leave the crazy rants in. I can't. Okay, what did you say? Read a book? I know how to read. Not a book. Gen X mom's trashing me over there. Read a book? You don't know how to read. You could read a book. What are you talking about? She's just jealous. I can read. I know how to read words and letters. I can even read cursive. So there. Tip $4.99. Who's that coming in through there? That is Anthony S. Uh-oh. Oh, my God. Did you see that little dribble? Pump, pump, sideways, pump, pump. Got him out there, his dribble, pump, and knocked that little purple fucker just whoop, right over the edge. That's too bad. Poor guy. He was in there a long time. One of our members, you did that. Anthony S., what area do you think of the country is strong? Anthony, I want to talk to you. That was a member you just kicked out of the jar. I'm pretty upset about that. Anthony S. 499, thank you very much. What area do you think this country was strong? Was that meant what era or what part of the country is strong? I'm a little confused on that. We got a new member coming in and staying right there. That was a turnaround jump shot. Nothing but net. You see that? And stayed. No bouncing around the rim, just in. That is Ghouls Lion Rampart. Ghouls Lion Rampart? How would you call you Lion Rampart? I don't know if I can do that. GLR. Ghouls Lion Rampart. Yeah, that's a tough one, but at least he's there. Yeah. Anthony S., what area do you think this country was strong? I'm a little confused on that question, Anthony. I don't know if we're talking about a time period or a geography. Straighten me out a little bit there, please. I need that because I'm getting that one wrong. All right. Carl Kleischer, do you think collecting cards is a bad decision for baseball, football, X? Do you think collecting cards is a bad decision? Baseball, football, X? No. I think it's good for an investment. It's good for a hobby. Here's something that I get pissed off at people about. as if that was a short list. No. People spend money on all kinds of things. And it's always the people on the outside. Can you believe the amount of money that dumb asshole spent on baseball cards? Do you understand what he's doing in there? He's collecting cards? So what? It's a fucking hobby. Who gives a shit? Super chat $1.09. That's Anthony's going to get me back for a question there. Oh my God. Oh, I thought $1.99 was getting rid of a member. I was going to freak the fuck out in a good way, of course. No, collecting cards, or when they spend money on buying car parts because they're building a hot rod or something along that line, you know. That's why do you guys get mad at him for that? There's another one coming in. This one is Comic, and he's right there at the top too. Co-MC. Co-MC. Anyway, how does that happen? How does that happen when people say, oh my God, you believe how much money he spent on baseball cards? Or how much he collects stamps? He fucking collects stamps. And it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you have a hobby, and this goes in your personal budget and, of course, your marriage. Don't fuck up your marriage over a hobby. But what I'm telling you is that people get mad about that. It's like, that's the dude's hobby. What do you care what he does? Why does it bother you? Well, that's just wrong. No. The guy's got a hobby. Let him collect whatever he wants. Some of those are good financial investments, okay? They really are. But even if they're not, another member, oh, okay. All right, that's a first. I have never seen a member drop and kick out another member. That's a first. Who did that? I want to see that one. Justin Stringfield became a Bottom of the Glass Nation member and fucked up the dude before him. He didn't have anybody else to kick out. He says, I'd like to kick a subscriber out of here or some of these balls. Well, fuck it, you'll do. Pong. I got to drink a little more or a little less. I can't tell. Anyway, with hobbies, who cares, man? It's a hobby. Do what you want. It really doesn't matter. If a guy's got a hobby, leave him the fuck alone. You guys all know somebody you make fun of for doing something his way. You know when he's got all these bird feeders, the guy's got 500 bird feeders in his back. What the fuck's wrong with that guy? All right, I'll grant you if he's out there in his underwear, feeding birds off of his shoulder, that might be a little weird. But don't get down on the guy for spending a bunch of money feeding birds on bird houses, bird feeders, and bird seed. Leave the fucking guy alone. You guys, you got to have a different take on personal preference with stuff. Let the dude just be him, man. Whatever he's into, let him have it. Who cares? As long as he's financially able to do it, he's not jeopardizing his family's marriage. Who cares what a guy does? Let him buy all the fucking baseball cards he wants. Who gives a shit? Makes me want to collect baseball cards all over again. All right. No, I missed some stuff over here. Anthony S. dropped like $1.99. I need to go find that one because he was trying to correct me on something that we read. There it is. Anthony S. Era, long day, troll 12 hours. Which was the era that America was the strongest? That's easy. when we were the most united. Now, the first one that comes to mind is Pearl Harbor in World War II. That was the biggest mistake the Japanese could make, was uniting a country like that. That was absolutely the dumbest thing they could have ever done. They fucked up. It was a gamble. It was a risk. Cold War united the country quite a bit against the Russians. You know, the stuff that we were hearing about Russia, before you guys started Russia. That was our Russia. And we were united. We were afraid of them. We approved everything we could to fight them. We didn't like them. We were against them, and it was a big thing. And anytime you can unite a country that becomes more prosperous, and we become united, we look past color, we look past religion, we look past a ton of shit, just because we're united against a common enemy, a common foe. Unbelievable. $1.99 almost gets those little purple screwy guys out. A member throws one out, and $20 from Matty B. Didn't do it. Matty B's time for a shot. You're right. You're fucking right. It's been too long, Matty B. And I'm glad this isn't a voice channel, because Matty B has a soft, soothing, sexy voice, smoother than a fresh jar of Skippy. It's peanut butter. Anyway. Whoa, okay. Where was I? Hammer has just subscribed. Here he comes. Boom, boom. That was volleyball. That was member volleyball. Right off of this dude. Boom. Right onto that dude. Boom. And right over the edge. That was one, and then spike. You're gonna 1, 2, and you're over the side. Yeah, the shit that amuses me. Oh, where was it? We're talking about something. Oh, era, Anthony. So the first one is World War II. Yeah, we were so strong. We were prosperous after that in the 40s and the 50s. We were moving in the right direction. Everybody was on the same page. Yeah, bad stuff going on. Still had a lot of segregation. That whole Japanese internment camp thing was bullshit. I'm not saying everything was perfect. It was not. But what I'm telling you is that you asked when we were the strongest. When we're the strongest is when we're united. And believe me, everyone in government knows that. And they will do everything they can to make sure that we are never, ever united again. That's it. They're going to do everything they can. Everything they say will be, we're uniting and we're bringing together and we're not leaving anybody behind. That's the side issue that pisses me off. And I don't want to get off on a rant. I will not rant, but I just want to bring up one dumb thing about division that I see. Maybe I'm wrong. What do I know? All right. What's the matter? Tip $10, and it's coming down right now. You got to lose a couple guys there. I can feel it. One, two. Okay. What's the matter? Empty those two motherfuckers out. Boom, right now with $10 perfectly placed. Will 10 empty the glass? No, but it got rid of a couple. I'll tell you what. Let me give you my opinion on something, and I'll go empty the glass, and we can start over. What I hate in politics, amongst many things, is when they say we're unifying, we're bringing everybody together, and we're going to do this, and we're going to make America stronger. Now, while we're doing this, you see this minority over here? You see this little group over here? We don't want to leave them behind. We want them to have a voice. We're going to bring them up, and so they do. They bring them up as their individual group. Holy shit. Oh, my God. That little fucker's still in there through all that shit. That was a blender on puree, and he lived through it. So they say we're going to unite. We're going to bring together. But let's not forget this minority group or this ethnic group or this any group over here. Let's bring them along too. Let's give them some room to breathe. Let's bring them up. We want them to be part of things, don't we? And as they're telling you that they're bringing everybody together, they pick a group to pit us against or against us by pretending they're bringing them up. Well, they're not being treated fair, are you, little guys here? Well, we're going to make sure they treat. You're not being treated. Say it with me. You're not being. Say it with me. They're not treating you. There you go. You guys aren't treating them fair. Now we're going to give you money. We're going to give them money because you're not treating them fair. And we're going to give you special things that they don't get because we want you to rise up. And we're going to protect you and we're going to set you apart so you know that you count and you matter. Why don't you just let them blend in with everybody? No, no, no. Didn't you hear me? We're unifying. No, you say you're unifying. Then you pick some group of people. You pretend you're bringing them up and you pit them against everybody else. You make them feel like we've all been treating them like shit, more so than even if they had been. You make it a bigger deal than it really is. You don't squash the problem. All you do is fucking talk about it all the time. How's anybody ever going to forget and move on? How are you going to get past it? You can't, because while you're pretending to unify everybody, as you're giving this speech, you fucking single one or two things out and you say, we're going to bring them along in the spirit of unity. And then every fucking thing you say after that is making them feel different, separate, abused, tortured. You do it every time. And you never let it go. Oh, I know. You've got examples on how everything's fucked up. Most of them are 60, 80, 200 years ago maybe, but you got your examples. And you create people that go, yeah, I'm mistreated. Fuck that. I'm very mistreated. In fact, I didn't know I was this mistreated till right goddamn now. And I'm with you. Where's my free shit? You do it every fucking time. You can't just stop talking about that shit. You gotta isolate people and make them feel that every day they're getting their teeth kicked in, even when they're not. Do you remember what happened 22 years ago on this day? No? Well, you should, and you should be pissed about it right now. Let's go look back at what happened, and remember, when we're done bringing it up, when I'm done reminding you, remember, when you walk out that door, be angry. Every fucking time. Unify my ass. See, that didn't take too long. I'm sorry, it didn't take too long. I do apologize. Wesley Walls became an extra. I'm assuming Wesley's in there somewhere. All right, let me take a second and empty the jar. I promised you I would. I know where to go. I'm going to empty the goddamn jar. Empty the jar. Let's see if it worked. Did it empty? Well, look at that. We're back at the beginning now. All right, hold on. I think I need a drink after that. If you don't agree with that rant I was just on, please don't drink with me. All right? I'm asking you nicely. If you think I'm full of shit, which I probably am, if you don't agree with that shit I just said, do not drink with me. But if you raise a glass down here, then I got to think that we're on the same page on some of the stuff. That's all I'm looking for. Just want to see if I have any friends left in the room. I may not. I've pissed people off before and had to walk away. But I get angry about that shit. I just want to know if there's anybody out there. Now I'm seeing some stuff come through. You fuckers are going to make me weepy. Thank you. Thank you. That's what I'm looking for. Just looking for a little bit of something. Now, Missy's mad. Pissy Missy. I guess I made her. I can't please everybody. Okay, but let's do some cocaine. No. All right. Stephen Urso, same page. I didn't read one thing on that, but Stephen's I did. I caught that. All right, I got some shit to get through. The ladies over here are waiting for me between the sheets. That is Miss Liz, and that is Allie. Eric Cuddleston, $5. Not that I want it, but historically, the United States, during our worst of times, economic crisis, war, seems to follow, and our economy bolsters. Is that coming? Yeah, we do seem to prosper during war. There's a lot of things that do. A lot of money's made during war. Unfortunately, it's not really the middle class. It's not always, but we do. The country profits. There is that. JJ Gosnell, I want to play. Can you make the balls smaller? Better physics? I can't change that. JJ, I have no control. That's a Streamlabs add-on. Maybe I could find some other stuff. There's a lot of things you can substitute for these. A lot of little different icons. I'll look into that, JJ, for you. Allie, please make a note to JJ wants smaller balls. But I'm going to forget, but I need you to remind me to make sure that JJ's balls are smaller. And he wants to play too. And he wants to play with small balls. So that's important to me. Yeah, no. When politicians get out there and say, I'm here for the little man, I would go out there and say, I'm here for the smaller balls. And I am. Justin Stringfield, Wasn't Russia was the USSR? Yes, it was. It has changed names several times, but it was, yes. David Black, BOTGN has brought me some unity when my life was chaotic. Isn't it funny how sometimes the internet can fucking tear you down and make you feel worthless because everybody posts everything wonderful in their life, their brand new car, their steak dinner, and then you feel like you're shitty? And I've done that where I feel horrible because I'm reading how great everybody else is doing and I'm not doing as well. And I think, well, shit, I better get my shit together here. I'm not okay. Everybody else is okay and I'm not okay. The internet has a way of making me feel terrible. David, if every now and then it does something good for someone like that, for someone like you in that kind of way, then I'm grateful and I'm thankful and I'm glad that this group of people here, this comment section, these guys, I'm glad they had something to do with it. So I would say you're welcome, but really thank you. Pissy Missy, $2. Pissy Missy, another $2. Then she said she's out. Did I miss some stuff that Missy was trying to say? I mean, she's Pissy Missy, but I didn't really want to piss her off. But I was telling a story. Now, did she leave because she hated my story? Or did she leave because the $2 going in didn't do anything? Or is she just mad at me? Oh, shit. Low Torque, $5 incoming. There was another one in there, too. Salty Drunkard Gaming. He sees this as a game and he's going to win. All right, let him drop. Let's see what's going on here. Wesley Walls, welcome to being an extra. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Wesley, if you hang around past 1 month, then that's on you. The next mistake is on you. Oh, no, I tricked you into this one. But if you stay longer than a month, then that's on you, my friend. I'm telling you. Did we already miss those? Where are they at? Come on. Drop the balls. Come on now. All right, I'll see if they come back. Dirty Knobs, what planes did your Graham work on? I don't know. I don't even know that she would remember now. It's been so long. Woodick has just subscribed. We got a subscriber. Low Torque's $5 coming through. Ooh, there's people in there. Oh, right into my beard. Let me get that fucker right out there. Did it not look like he disappeared right into my beard? On my screen it did. I don't know what it looked like for you guys. That was funny shit. I don't know. Dirty Knobs, what planes did your Graham work on? I don't know. My grandmother, her birthday was yesterday, and she's 97. And I called her, and she's coherent almost all the time. She has moments where she's not. But I called her today. I said, how old were you? Or how old are you? And she goes, well, I'm 97 years old. And I said, 97? That's incredible. She goes, it's ridiculous. No one should have to live this long. And I said, 97? I got to ask you a question. She goes, what? I said, what was it like at the Gettysburg Address? Is Lincoln really as tall as everyone says he was? The whole conversation was her laughing the entire time. I mean, I went out of my way to make her laugh about every topic and every conversation. Some things she remembered, some things she didn't. But it's like my mother says, it's really good when I call and I can get her to just laugh and laugh and laugh, even if it's only for 10 or 15 minutes in a phone call. I wish she could be happy and laughing all the way until she passes away. I know she can't, but it really feels good when you can do that. So I go out of my way in those conversations to do that with her. Yeah, so we still got David Black up here and 2 Pissy Missies and Wesley Walls. Jamie Smith, hi, Gen X Dad. Text me, please. Love the show. I will, Jamie, just not right now. I'm in the middle of a program, Jamie. Jordan Scott Wilhoy with 99 cents. Thank you very much. You girls can get rid of all those. C-Rex, Oklahoma loves you, Gen X Dad. And we love you, random citizen from Oklahoma. But we're coming to Oklahoma. We're going to do a gig there. There's a big gig there with a lot of people. I mean, there's a bunch of famous people going to be there, and then they're letting us come too. So that'll be fun. We'll let you know when we head that direction. Bum, 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 bum. Gen X Dad for President says, Madagak man, I cannot run for president. Not of anything. No. I have way too many skeletons in my closet. I could never. You guys want to just have something exposed and kill me in the first round? There you go. Co-MC General ever get his 9-inch steak? I did not. I have not received my 9-inch steak. I haven't got it at all. And I know Gen X mom's got some terrible jokes, sexual jokes over there about 9-inch meat, and I'm just thankful that she's not saying them. Thank you. Well, I'm going to fuck up that name. Meshikal Goddess? Mahikal? Do you say the J? Do you pronounce the J? Meshkal Goddess? I just wrote a whole cursive handwritten letter on real paper, had no stamp, no envelope. You did the hard part. Envelopes you can find. It's writing in cursive. Now, how do you know you wrote it correctly? Just because you understand it doesn't mean that you wrote it correctly. Some of those, how do you write a Z or a Q in a capital letter? Those are still hard. To this day, those I could tell Gen X mom, write in cursive a capital Q or a capital Z, she'd have to think about it, friend. That's one of those moments where Gen X mom bites her lip when she's thinking, trying to fit. That's one of those. I'm letting you know those are hard. Just don't use those words. Tony or Trippy Pineapple tipped $5. Here he comes. There's 2 subscribers in there. And there's still 2 subscribers in there. Oh, where am I at? Joshua Danley, what's your best advice for pulling yourself out of the dumps or funk? Man, did you listen to the suicide podcast? That was a very touching episode 2 or 3 back, the suicide podcast. I don't have a way for doing that. I don't. There's no amount of things you can tell yourself to pull yourself out of the dumps. If you're feeling bad, it's either something that just passes, which it will, but I know you don't want to hear that, or you have to have a friend. You have to have a friend come in and take you out of it. That's the only thing that's ever worked for me. The only thing that I've ever been able to do for someone else is to physically go get them. I don't know what it's something different for everybody. So I've taken a friend who's in a funk, and I took him to a titty bar, and he was fine afterwards. I've taken another friend to the Pacific Ocean and lit a fire and just watched the sunset, and it worked. You got to know your friends, or in your case, you got to have friends that can read you, see you, understand you, and then help you, because there's no other way. I didn't see what that was. Looked like one subscriber got bounced. The member came in. Yeah, my granddaughter could pull me out of the dumps. If she comes by and she calls me Pop Pop, and then I don't care if she wants me to take her miniature golfing or to Disneyland or to buy her a dress. It would just melt my heart right then. Yeah, it's a true story. Yeah, stuff there. Trippy Pineapple, don't mind me just dropping some balls in the class. Trippy Pineapple, I should be grateful. You did say, don't mind me just dropping some balls in the glass. You could have said draining, and I would have had to say something, but you didn't. Okay, hold. Is it time to drink? It's got to be fucking time to drink again. Yes, the old Jack Daniels is coming out. And did anybody find out what happened to Missy? Did Lion go back and find out if she's in the chat room? That chat room better be off right now. If it's on right now, then we're going to pull the cord. We're going to call the electric company and have them pull the cord on that. Somebody find Missy. Trippy Pineapple, we're on the same page. All right. There we go. Boy, I just mentioned it. Lion, Jake, Cabo. Cabo, I got your email. I got your address. Gen X Mom straightened me out. Just she straightened me out, just so you know. I'm not reading that. Weisenhoek, I'm not reading that. Ricky Fatboy Baker, Matty B again. 37 Hers. There's my friend, Spencer Grant, Trippy Pineapple. Mrs. 4, as always, the lovely, marvelous Mrs. Miranda. I don't think I've seen you in there tonight, but it's only because I haven't been looking. What?
I have a PayPal.
Yeah, how long's it been sitting there? About an hour? Yeah.
Oh, it's for me. It's $10 from Mrs. Forwatton saying hi. Hi, Mrs. Forwatton.
You don't have a program. You don't have a show. You and Mrs. Ford do not have free reign to communicate through PayPal. I call bullshit. You know what? Just text her and she can text you. Mrs. Ford. Mrs. Ford. How dare you? Or how dare you not? To be or not to be? What a question. I'm drinking. People love you? Well, they don't know you yet, so give them time. All right, where was I? I had some stuff in here. Old Man Jake, welcome to being an extra, Old Man Jake. I see, he's got things up there right there. Old Man Jake is an extra. Cool cat. Looks like one. I hope he is. We'll find out. Tina Plexico from Mexico buys her gas at Texaco. If Clinton can smoke pot and get blowjobs, you can run for president. That was the greatest moment of my life, of my political life. And I don't even have a political life. But I remember people coming up to me and the Clinton Monica Lewinsky thing and going, "What's going on with this? What does this mean? What is the outcome? What do we do here?" I said, "Nothing. We don't do a damn thing." Mountain is just subscribed. Is he going to stick around? He is. He's in. So everyone comes up with Monica Lewinsky and they're talking to me. So what is this? What's the implications of what does this mean for the movement in America? And I said, look, it doesn't matter whether you're a Democrat or you're a Republican. That man just got a Hummer from an intern with big lips. And did you hear the Now movement, all those women's live movement? You can't treat your wife that way. You disrespected her. You're a terrible man. Did you hear any of that? Even once? Oh, no. Did you think they all ran at Hillary? Don't you put up with him doing that. You leave him. You stand up for yourself. You're important. No. They were silenced, which was great for us as men. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or a Republican. Bill Clinton single-handedly legalized Hummers for every married man in America. I just want to be like the president. His wife didn't get pissed. If he can do it, he's just a regular guy like me. No, I feel his struggle. I'm with Bill. He legalized it for every man in America. It was one of the happiest political days of my life. As everyone was drinking and toasting at that moment, because I'm telling you, as soon as I said that, I'm telling you, we had a block party that lasted a fucking week. And it was great. It was great. And a phrase came out of that comes to mind from time to time. Bill Clinton, call him Bill, Willie. Bill, what's the best Hummer you ever had? Bill says, the last Hummer I ever had. Should make that a t-shirt. Got a member who's sticking around. I know. How many of you just signed off because of that? How many of you just clocked out and said, all right, this guy's gone over the edge. Fucking the deep end. I'm done talking. I'm sorry. I'm not one bit sorry. Not even a little bit, man. If I can't have the freedom to be me, then fuck it. Who else am I going to be? I'm the only good at being me. So if I can't be me anymore, I'm in trouble. All right. What did I miss? Smartin, why can't I win the lottery? I try so hard. Double your efforts. C-Rex, Oklahoma loves you, Dad. And we love you, random Oklahoma citizen. Golly, ladies between the sheets, I might have said that already. Not sure. Chris Rosenborg. Chris was part of the Circle K, Chris K thing that was fucking with everybody. Chris Rosenborough, did you know the Utah has a state firearm? And do you know what it is? No. Utah has a state firearm, and do you know what it is? If Utah has a state firearm, I did not know that. I do not know what it is. If I had to guess, it would be a big rifle that the barrel comes and points right back at the shooter, because if you have to be Mormon and married to 10 wives, no fucking way would I try to make 10 wives happy. So I'm going to guess that the state firearm is one that the barrel is pointed right back at you, and it only fires once. But what do I know? Dirty Knobs, Kennedy and Maryland Hummers in the White House 1960. Yeah, but that was more of a hush-hush thing. The press and the Secret Service and everybody, when Kennedy was banging chicks in the White House, it was kind of like, don't talk about it. Let's just, let's get back on the country issues. Let's run the, no, not anymore. No. And the liberal press will turn on their favorite son, which was Bill Clinton. They'll do that. They will turn on him in a New York fucking minute. Yeah. Serious as a heart attack, my friends. Why? Because it's sensational reporting. It's sensationalism at its best. They don't give a shit anymore. Not that I would expect them to cover for me on topics like that. They'd probably expose my dumbass too, which is why I don't ever tell the press anything I'm doing. No. Bear tripped. Somebody tripped. Who did? Two Bear. Super chat, $4.99. Trying to knock some people out. Oh, you had him. And that second ball that came down fucking closed them in. Two Bear. Just unfortunate. Look, Robert Cantu, welcome his Legion of X. That must be Robert, that purple dude in there. That one right there must be Robert, because that's the last one that went in there, I think. Robert's got a good defense going. Almost got that German bunker on Normandy thing going, doesn't he? Yeah, protection. Yeah, so bum, 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 bum. And where are we? I'm not skipping the Mrs. Fort Watton ones. I'm grouping them together. There's a difference. Two Bear, it's my Hummer. LOL. Robert Cantu, welcome Legion of X. Okay, that brings us back to the lovely Mrs. Fort Watton. She says $2. Mrs. Fort says the only time I ever felt sorry for Hillary. Yeah, that was a lot for her to take. I mean, she had to give up her dignity and her pride for. Do you guys see that in the background? In my background, do you see her waving that in the? Now she moved. She chickened out. Gen X mom.
$20 from Spencer Grant.
I was going to tell you something. When you wave that facing this way, right where you are, up a little higher, I think, where you were. Well, wherever you were when I was talking, it was right there. Come down a little bit. Right there, people can see. They see your phone going back and forth in the plaque. Okay, who was it?
Spencer Grant.
Spencer Grant on PayPal. What'd he say?
I don't see anything.
Spencer, you didn't have a message for your $20 from PayPal? I love you, buddy. Unallocated fund. No, that's mine. Unallocated funds go to the whiskey fund, my friend. Gen X Mom, I need to summon you for a reason. Would you please get me that whiskey bottle that you had in your hand the other day? That one where had the writing on it?
Oh, it's behind you, way up on top.
I swear to Christ, if you threw that out,
It's right up, way up.
I'm not going to go get that. All right, so I can't talk about that because it's not there. Yeah. All right, so Mrs. Four. She was saying the only time I felt sorry for Hillary. Yeah. Mrs. Fort Watton, she had to eat shit every day for that. She had to be reminded every day for that. She had to look at her husband. Now, we all know that he's done that shit his whole life. But it wasn't public like this. No, 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 no. In Arkansas, he had some state troopers that would cover his ass, but not anymore. It was out there. That was a tough one. I was really surprised that women didn't stand up for Hillary and demand that Bill be kicked in the nutsack. I mean, all of the women's movements, all of the women's pride, and we're Helen Reddy's "We Are Woman, Hear Me Roar." If you don't know what that is, that's from the 70s. You're excused. You under 35 years old, go look it up. Go look up Helen Reddy. I am woman, hear me roar. What's issues too big to ignore? Yeah, that girl. Go find that. And then come back and you can participate in the conversation. But by then we'll be moved on. But that's what you get for being young and stupid. You should know these things. I'm talking to Mrs. Ford right now. She knows exactly what I'm talking about. She didn't leave. She leaned back in her chair with her drink because she already knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, that was something. Hillary she got her ass handed to her because nobody said, you need to leave him. He's dead. Don't you ever let a man treat you like that. No, it was okay. All the women that preached that and screamed that, man, they overlooked that one. We'll let that one go. You can't lose your hero now, can you? No. What's the other one? Mrs. Four in here. She says, Mrs. Four Watton, tell a story about your grandparents. Story about my grandparents. I could run through a few things. Let me tell you what. Let me have a drink. Let me share a drink. To my grandparents. My grandfather's already passed away. My grandmother is close. I'm drinking to the greatest generation. I'm drinking to all of them that lived their family lives at a young age through the Depression and made it, fought World War II and made it, supported their country through the division of the Vietnam War and made it. Yeah. I'm drinking to them, to the greatest generation. If you don't like the greatest generation, put your fucking glass down. But I'm drinking to the greatest generation and every single one of them. And I'm proud to say there's members of my family that did their part. To them. Oh, the lovely woman in the corner, gracefully waving her hand like she's on a parade float. Yes, Gen X mom.
$20. I think mom should get unallocated PayPal funds for monitoring it. Massage fund.
No, no, Mrs. Ford. Mrs. Ford just dropped $20 in PayPal, and for Gen X mom with a whole host of bullshit. You don't get unallocated. I get unallocated funds. If their funds come through and they don't have any earmarks on them, I get them. End of story. I have spoken. And for you to drop $20 for Gen X Mom's massage fund, I was all for that a year ago, Mrs. Ford, because I just woke up one Sunday morning and I was being frisky and lively and funny and happy, and I was rubbing Gen X Mom for an hour, and I go, "There's your massage. I'll take my money," and I left the room. She said, "Never again. I'm not falling for that." So I got away with it once, but now when you actually give money for a massage fund, like you guys did when you donated for that massage fund in Las Vegas, Allie and Gen X Mom went down for their massages in Vegas. Couple hours of that and worth every penny, or so I'm told. I wasn't even allowed in the room. I can't help it when big, strong, muscular men have their hands on naked women. For some reason, they frown upon it when I'm in there. This is America, man. I don't understand that. I have a right to see what's going on, or at least I thought I did. Turned out I didn't, but whatever. All right, so don't. MM. Is that Marshall Mathers? How the fuck do you have grandparents? I'm 34 and I don't even have parents. Well, I don't know. How the fuck do I have grandparents? Well, I don't know. I'm going to clue you in on something, Eminem. I wasn't in charge of that. Okay? No one said to me at 3 years old, "Now we want you to have parents and grandparents when you get older. Why don't you give a roadmap of how that's going to work out?" And at 4 years old, I grabbed my crayons and drew it out. Eminem, how the fuck do I have grandparents? Eminem, how the fuck would I know the answer to that? I wasn't in charge of shit. Okay, I didn't decide who drank and who smoked and who raced too fast in their car. I wasn't in charge of what dads left to get milk and never came back. One of mine did. I didn't have any of that. Wasn't in charge of that shit. You asking me a question, how do I have grandma? I don't know. I look up, they're there. I call, they answer. That's as far as I know. I wasn't in charge of shit when I was 4. If you're going to blame yourself for not having parents and grandparents at 34 years old, I think your intentions and your conversations are a little misguided. How the fuck is that in your control? Your job is to look around and be absorbed by the things around you. Do you think you did that? Did you murder them? No, you did not. Then how are you responsible for that? How am I responsible for my good fortune? I'm not walking around strutting like, "Well, look at me, I got grandparents. Aren't I great?" I didn't do it. I didn't do shit. I'm just the recipient. Oh. Marshall Mathers, go write a rap song and get back to me later. All right. JJ, I'm 39. I don't have parents or grandparents. Chill, bro. Yeah, see? JJ's smart. He knows what's going on. Did you just address me as hey?
Yes.
You just yelled hey at me?
Hey! Did you get that one?
That was almost sexy when you did that. Hey! Yes. What do you want? What?
Chris Roseboro, $10 just because it's Thursday.
Chris Roseboro, $10 on PayPal just because it's Thursday. My man, again, unallocated funds. We're getting some Sinatra, baby. It's coming. All right, so I got to get to Mrs. Four had a couple good questions in here. They erased it. I got to one thing where Mrs. Four said she felt sorry for Hillary. There was another question in there. I didn't even get to the answer on it yet, and they erased it. Justin Stringfield, $5. Didn't they start Steak and BJ Day based on the Clinton's Hummer? I don't know. If that must have been in the South. I didn't hear about that. Spencer Grant, welcome to the Bottom of the Glass Nation. Yes, I'm welcoming you to this train wreck. But if you stick around, that's on you, baby. I can lie, cheat, and steal and get you to join. But once you see what you've joined, if you stick around, Spencer, that's on you, you grown-ass man. Wise and Oak, I help an 83-year-old like 3 times a week. I find it funny how well we get along. No, Wise and Oak, I've been around you for a while now with your comments. with the things you say and do. Boing! With the things you say and do. I'm telling you, you're an old soul. Just like Gen X mom, just like me. We were kids and we grew up around older people. The podcast today that we put out, there's a podcast out. One of the girls will put it out for you. It was we talked about that today. We happen to be raised, primarily influenced quite a bit by the greatest generation or the older silent generation. It's amazing what you learn with that. Go listen to the podcast and tell me that you don't relate the same way we do to things that those older people say and do and feel. No. Wise and Oak, old soul, I can already tell. I've been around you enough to know. You're not brand new around here. You've been a supporter for a long time. We're on the same page on that. All right. So I'm going to pause my chat on this side. All right? I am. And I'm going to close out. I'm not going to even look at the two women between the sheets over here. No, I will resist. Just going to focus on rambling through. Mrs. Four asked to tell you grandparent stories. So I'm going to blow through these rather quickly. If this is the time when you stop typing for a minute and you just sit back and you listen, because I'm going to tell you that yes, I had parents, but I spent a lot of times, and I mean days and days and days, and sleeping at their house and getting walked to school. And a huge influence in my life was my grandparents, who I love them both dearly, with the greatest generation. So I'm going to drink, and then I'm going to tell you some stories right in a row. Your job is to sit back, take your fucking hands off the keyboard for just 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes where you can hear some stuff, some real salt of the earth stories from some great people. Mrs. Four, thank you for asking. This one's for you. Yeah, fatty. We call them training wheels because I got to chase it with Coke. I'm not a young man anymore. Okay. You know what? I'm going to be smart. I think at the end of this, I'm going to be a little emotional. Pour myself another glass right now just so I can keep up with my emotions. Generation Next, this is what we call self-medication. We can prescribe our own medication to ourselves in whatever quantity we see fit. We are exceptional street-level homemade doctors. Don't you forget that. It's a true story. We're even certified. No, I certified myself. I got a stamp and everything. It's true. My grandparents took me everywhere. When I was 2 years old, they were taking me on camping trips. They went camping with a group of people called the Valley Vagabonds. We grew up in the San Fernando Valley. The Valley Vagabonds even had a sticker on the back of all their motorhomes. And they would go. There's probably 40 of them, so not all of them could go every time. So a group about 10 or 12 or 15. And they took me one weekend a month from the time I was 2 years old, probably till I was 13 or 14. We went everywhere. We went to the deserts. We went to the beaches. I've camped at every beach up and down California, from Gaviota all the way down to La Jolla and beyond. I've been to every high desert campground that there is. They took me everywhere. They marched me on trails. My grandfather had a Trailway 90 that he rode all around on. By the way, if anyone has a Honda Trailway 90, you will be my best friend, my public best friend for the rest of my life. If I can I'll buy one from you. Honda Trailway 90. My grandmother and all of her friends would cook on open griddles, and my grandfather would go fishing and catch fish and bring them back with all of his buddies. They killed rattlesnakes and tarantulas when they came too close to the camp, and I grew up knowing that my whole life. I couldn't have asked for a better existence. One time, my grandparents took me out of school, and we didn't come back for 2 months, all across the United States. All across the United States and back. Just my grandfather had some stuff he wanted to show me, so I drove the motorhome. I spent 2 months with my grandparents and a dog, and we spent 2 months just no agenda, driving from place to place to place just to show me things. And I mean, we covered a lot. I've seen a lot of this country that I never would have got to see without them. Now, there's some bad side too. The thing we talked about earlier today on the lunchtime show was when you got in trouble, when you're Gen X and you're around the greatest generation, you're in trouble. They say, "Get me a Switch." Okay, for all of you youngsters, that's not a Nintendo Switch. Okay, you have video games. You go outside and get me a Switch. That was go get me. Do you guys know? Do you know what that is? That was go get me a tree branch so we bring it in so I can whoop your ass with it. And a willow tree is the worst one to get. Oh, bad choice. Never do that more than once. After the first time you got whooped with a willow tree branch, you never went back to the willow tree. You're out looking for avocado tree branches. One time, my grandma says, "You go get me a switch, young man." I went out there and I brought in the biggest fucking thing I could carry. I'm like, "Go ahead and swing that." And as soon as I said it, my grandfather punched me in the fucking face. Almost knocked me the fuck out. He knew what I did. I'd never do that again. The next time I got grandma's switch, it was something respectable. Whooped my ass with it. That's the first time I learned was from my grandmother that when you got called by your first and middle name, you were in trouble. I won't tell you my first and middle name. When you get that yelling from across the house and it's your first and middle, if it's Robert Sheffield, and they don't Robert Sheffield Montgomery, if your name is that, you Robert Sheffield, you get in here right now. You knew you were in trouble. Now, there's some of you right now that are going, holy shit, I remember that. Yeah, that first and middle name, you knew you were in trouble. I learned that from my grandmother. I'm kidding you. My grandmother taught me when you're done with a sandwich, you can have a tuna sandwich wrapped in aluminum foil. When you're done with your sandwich, you don't throw your aluminum foil away. You flatten it out, you wash it off clean, and you fold it back up so you can use it again. Yeah, she was the one. Now I know. Paper towels come now where they come in those short. You can tear them in half. It used to be that way. It was a whole big piece, and Grandma would tear them in half and tear them into a quarter. If she only needed a quarter, she'd do that. My grandmother, I watched her use a sewing machine my entire life. I'll bet none of you out there, only none, but I'll bet none of you use a sewing machine. Well, you buy new socks. You buy underwear. You buy a new shirt. No. My grandmother fixed things. My grandmother fixed every piece of clothing I ever had. It didn't matter what it was. It was my jacket. It was my socks. She would darn my socks. You know what that even means? No. She would do that. I learned that from my grandmother. They wouldn't waste anything at any time. My grandfather told stories of his friendship with men even into his 20s and 30s. We lived in Latuna Canyon. You can go look it up. Latuna Canyon Road in Sun Valley, California. It's a small place. And there was a fire that came through the canyon one time. And my grandfather was telling a story about how he ran to every house, and he got into their garages and he put the ladders up. He put ladders on every roof, and then he'd go back and he got garden hoses and he'd run the garden hose up there and put it on the roof in the direction that the embers were coming. And he was telling the story, and someone asked him at the time, they said, "Well, what was it? What do you mean you went into people's garages?" And I remember my grandfather looking at the guy who asked, he goes, "I was the only man home. I had the day off, and all the other men and were working. It was his job. Do you get that? It was his duty." He goes, "I was the only man home." He went to save everyone's house. He got everybody's ladders, everybody's hoses, the garden hoses. He was a neighborhood. You guys realize in the 30s that they built houses with like 4-foot chain link fences in the backyards? Now, think about what I'm telling you. We build brick walls and we build wooden fences 6 feet tall. You don't get to know what your neighbor's doing. There's privacy. You want privacy with what you're doing there. My grandfather and his friends knew every yard all the way for 8, 9 yards as far as you could see. You know why? There was no privacy because nobody was ashamed of anything they were doing. They weren't. Well, I'm not ashamed of what I'm doing. Privacy is my right. I'd put a brick wall. Fuck off. It was better back then. You could hop the fence and help your neighbor mow his lawn. You could. You know those jokes you guys don't even know. You're not old enough, but there was some little one-panel cartoons about handing sugar out of your window to someone else who needed a cup of sugar. They'd open the window. "Do you have any sugar?" "Yeah, I do." And they hand it. Was that neighborly? How many of you would go next door to ask someone for sugar, for milk, for butter? Go to your neighbor. How many? Not that all of you can. Some of you live very far away. But the neighbors you could. Would you even ask? Do you even know your neighbors 4 doors down? In Latuna Canyon, everybody knew everybody for about 40 years. Anytime someone new would move in the neighborhood, you'd bring cookies, you'd bring a cake, you'd bring bread, you'd bring something. You get to know them. The men would all come up to the man and say, "What do you drive? What do you work on? What do you do? We'll help you." And they're all out on Saturdays working on each other's cars. I saw it. I was young, but I saw it. I thought that was the way every life was. I had no idea there was so much division, and I've never seen anything like the division we see now. Tell you my grandparents' stories. I'll tell you one when we took that trip across the United States, and I was driving. I was 16 years old. I'm driving a motorhome. That was the time. Some of you remember the story about how we heard a noise in the motor. We couldn't tell what it was, and I was 16 or so. I didn't know what it was, and we took it to the Dodge dealership, and they just charged my grandfather a bunch of money and didn't fix anything. And I had taken the motorhome and was threatening to drive it through the front door, the glass of the dealership, right onto the showroom floor. I was right there, blocking traffic, ready to fucking go. Tires smoking, me just angry. Everyone going, "Stop, stop, stop!" Newspaper reporters showing up, cops showing up. I'm like, "Fuck it, you wronged my grandfather." It was also a time in March, that same trip, Marshalltown, Iowa. My grandparents, the windshield wipers weren't working too well. And so they went into town with their friends who were gone all day. They came back, and I had taken out the entire dashboard of this motorhome, set it on a picnic table, the steering wheel on a picnic table at 16 and a half. I was trying to get to the windshield wipers. And my grandmother about had a heart attack. She goes, "That's it. We're done. We're stuck here in Iowa forever. You've taken apart the motorhome. We can't drive it, can't move it." I'm like, "I can put it back together." I figured out how to take it apart, and I did. My grandpa said, "No, no, you let the boy have a shot at this." I put it all back together the next day, and everything worked except the windshield wipers. Do you know why? Because they're on the outside. You have to open up the hood and go this way to it. I tore apart the dash trying to get to it. I didn't know where they were. I was 16. So it was for nothing, but I did it. But boy, my grandmother had a heart attack and screamed and cried and called everybody back home, said, "We're never coming home. We're going to live here in Iowa in this campground because he took apart the dashboard and we're never getting home." And then after I fixed it and everything worked, she walked around. That was my grandson that did that. You see him? You see him take out 300 nuts and bolts and screws and get everything back in there? This thing's running better than ever. It's quieter, too. There's no more squeaking in the dashboard. You see, that was my grandson that did that. My grandmother was like that. When I fucked up, she let everybody know, including me. But when I did something right, she would sing my praises to no end. She was more than my champion. She made my small accomplishments out to be way bigger than they were. Oh, grandparents, they're funny people. My grandfather, we'd sit on the couch, and my grandfather had his lazy boy. My grandmother was all the way at one end of the couch, and I was at the other, sitting there and just watching TV. And of course, when you live with your grandparents, you don't get to watch the A-Team. You don't get to watch the cool shows growing up. You got to wait for those or try to sneak those in. We watched MASH. I have seen every episode of MASH. I have seen every episode of Johnny Carson. Fish was another one. Fish was a spinoff of, there was Barney Miller. I've seen every episode of Barney Miller. Now, with those things right there, there's a bunch of you just stirring your little $20 Starbucks lattes going, "What the fuck is he talking about? What's Barney Miller? That's MASH? Is that like potatoes or something? It's a cooking show? Was MASH a cooking show? Probably was a cooking show. No, it wasn't. MASH was a medical army show based in Korea. How do I know? I was very young because that's all I was able to watch. Oh, you can go look it up. You're dismissed. If anybody's under the age of 40, just go. You're dismissed. Go on. Go look up the things I'm talking about. You can come back in a little bit. Well, stories about my grandparents, they're without end. They were the greatest generation. I think my grandfather taught me more. I thought he taught me more in my lifetime than any other 5 men combined. And he probably didn't pass along 1/10 of what he knew. If I could, sorry, I'm getting a little choked up. If I could become half the man my grandfather was, I would be better than anybody that I know today. Anybody my age for sure. Um, I would never run out of stories for my grandfather. I'm sure he wasn't a perfect human being. I'm sure he made mistakes. But he had a charmed life. He was in a traveling circus in the Depression because he was a kid. He was the youngest of four. And they had no money. The Depression. Grapes of Wrath. And their family traveled from town to town doing performances just to make money. That's the only way they survived. It was a family circus. So he learned how to juggle. He learned how to balance on chairs. He learned how to play the trumpet. He learned everything he could to be part of the circus. He finally found the girl of his dreams, and the war broke out. He joined up the army. After the war, he had a family. He lived in Southern California, worked for the post office. He just dedicated himself to being everything he could for his family. He was a great man. And he was nothing more than an average man. He wasn't Rockefeller. No. He wasn't J.P. Morgan. My grandfather was a blue-collar, working man his entire life who had loyalty to his country, to his family and his friends. And my grandfather was simply the greatest man that I ever knew. And to quote one of the greatest philosophers of our day, that's all I have to say about that. I will now click back to comments where I can see what's going on. Mrs. Four, I hope that satisfies your question. I hope that meant something to you as much as it did to me. Thank you for that, Mrs. Four. I love you for that. Oh, the girls between the sheets are mad, which rightly so. I'm used to girls between the sheets being mad at me, and they're mad again. I'm missing a lot of stuff. J.J. Gosnell, I drowned my demons and they learned how to swim. Yeah, J.J. Gosnell, I drowned my demons and they learned how to swim. No shit. Thrash for life, I love this bar. Me too, Thrash. Let's hang around. Let's meet again. Let's keep going. Let's keep drinking. Let's find the owner and give him a drink. Josh Maddox, Thrash for life. You're not wrong. This is a good bar. Romy 13. I used to have a desert rose tarantula. Her name was Chula. She was badass. Yeah, they should have said that better. They would cut the heads off the rattlesnakes if they were coming in because they kept coming in. The tarantulas, they would put in coffee mugs. And that's where I learned that tarantulas jumped because one of the guys, his name was Hugh Petrie. That was his name. His Petrie brothers are big in L.A. right now, but Hugh Petrie. And they put a coffee mug down for the tarantula to walk into it, and it jumped. I didn't know tarantulas could jump. It jumped onto his hand. We would put them out further in the desert. No killing the tarantulas. If I said that wrong, I do apologize. R.A. Davis, 11B. My three brothers and I raised on my great-grandfather's farm, 20 miles outside of Pittsburgh. We were hunting and fishing every weekend. R. Davis, I guarantee you had a great childhood, that you learned some wonderful values growing up. Tough ones too, but I guarantee you did. Loomis, I love you, dude. Loomis, I love you back. Don't even know you. Matter, woman, don't matter. Thank you for that. Wisen Oak, I wish it was still like that. I didn't have to live through, but it still sounds nice. Yeah. It is, and it was, and it will be. Brian Shell, used to be if you didn't introduce yourself, you were the weirdo. Now if you introduce yourself, you're the weirdo. Isn't that the goddamn truth? It used to be it was politeness to introduce yourself. You would be rude. Aren't you going to introduce yourself? Now it's like if you do, like, what the fuck, get away from me. People are fucking weird now. I got to get off this planet soon. Maddie B, damn, it's already been 2 hours. Time flies. Maddie B, has it been 2 hours? Because now that you've said that, I have no timer on this. I don't know what time it is. When I use Streamlabs, I can't tell. When I use YouTube, I can tell. Maddie B has just triggered me to sign off. Mrs. Fort Watton, there is still a picture of you in Marshalltown, Iowa. It's in the post office. I only committed one crime The one time I was in Marshalltown, Iowa, Mrs. Ford, there's no way my picture's hanging in the post office. I did. I committed a crime my one time in Marshalltown, Iowa, and my grandfather stood there while I committed the crime. I even told him, I said, don't stop me. I got to go do this. And he said, okay. He stood there in the street with his cane and his cousin, who had lived in Marshalltown, Iowa, all 70 years of his life. And they watched me commit the crime. True story. I'm 32. Rebecca says I'm 32 and I remember MASH. Well, then you are a breed apart, Rebecca, because there's not many of us left that remember the old cultured shows like that. And thank you for bringing that up. Low Torque 4077 represent. The fuck does that mean, Low Torque 4077 represent? Low Torque 4077. What Low Torque? God, I love you like your brother, but what the fuck are you talking about? Oh, you didn't put the TH on the end. 4077. The T. Oh yeah, Liz, you're too late. I got it, Liz. Liz. Stop. Liz is between the sheets. Now imagine having two women between the sheets, and one of them starts writing notes. I am really not doing a good job, am I? All right, Low Torque, you're cool. We're back famous. We're good. All right. No, we're famous. We know the 4077 with a TH on the end. God damn, fucking guy, Poindexter with glasses, you fucking Low Torque 4 eyes, you closet hiding 4 eyes geek, you nerd. Oh my God. All right, yeah, the 47, that Low Torque wrote 77 there, but see, David Hemphill got it 4077. All right. I could have had that wrong a little bit, or not as much. Yeah, you got it wrong, Liz. Listen, I don't know. We should go, you guys. We should go. I promised everybody that I would hang out in the chat room. The chat room's fucking cool. One of you ladies, please put between the sheets, girls? Somebody put your clothes back on, and could you put your clothes on and give me a link over here? Give my friends over here a link to the chat room. Let's do that. Can we do that? Yeah. Let's go to the chat room. There's no super chats over there. There's no subscribers. There's no members. They're just a bunch of jabronis. We're all the same and just hanging out. Some of the rooms over there are video chat rooms. It just comes in like a call. You got your face. You're talking shit. We're all hanging out. We're drinking. Some of them are texting rooms. And there's political rooms over there. And there's meme rooms where you guys just put up meme after meme and talk about shit. Thank you for doing that, by the way, because I steal shit. I'll tell you what. I got one in here before we go. I do. It's kind of important. You guys can still hear me. I have 3 of them. I've been stealing stuff from Facebook and from you guys in the chat room. There's a meme chat room where you guys put up the coolest shit. I steal it because I'm in charge of putting them up on Twitter. So I take them and I do that. But there's 3 that I had for today. This one is titled, I'm This Old. I'm this old. What does this mean? If you know who this is, you are old. You can't look at this picture. I titled it, I'm This Old. And I just put up the picture on Twitter because if you know who this is, you're fucking old as dirt like me. Nobody knows who this is, especially because she's not in uniform. So I put this one up there. I thought that was brilliant. I don't know who I stole that from, but I did. And it's titled, I'm This Old. All right, what else was there? This one reminds me of Allie and Mrs. Forwatton. No, not in a joint session, but really, to be honest with you, Mrs. Four came to my mind, and then as I reasoned my way through it, I went, no, probably Allie, but definitely Mrs. Four. Here you go. So I'm going to mow down a little bit. Gen X Mom was nice to bring me some trail mix. I'm just telling you, this reminded me of Mrs. Four right off the bat. And then Allie was a strong second. I don't know what you guys are saying in chat. I can't read the chat right now. Yeah, Mrs. Ford, Barbara Eden. Yeah. All right, so I didn't want to go through without telling you guys. I thought it was important. There's one more. Hold on. There's one more. All right. Are you ready? This one is Generation X. Mrs. Ford probably won't get this because she's on the strong side of that. There's a ton of you that are on the weak side. The people that are going to get this, if I don't talk, if I don't give any explanation, The people that are going to get this one are fucking Generation X hardcore diehard. Allie is going to look at this and go, what does that even mean? Who? What? I don't understand that. Allie's not going to know the person in the picture, and Allie's not going to fucking know the reference name at the bottom of it because she is absolutely pure, 100% hardcore, dedicated, tattoo on her ass millennial. You ready? There it is. I'll give you all just a moment to digest this.
Oh, hey!
What?
We have a PayPal.
You're interrupting something. You got terrible timing. Learn your place.
$20 for Mrs. For what? The inquiring minds want to know what was the crime. Manicure fund.
That was a long time ago. You really suck at your job, Gen X mom. You're not even paying attention. That was like 40 minutes ago.
It was 5 minutes ago. Oh, I'm sorry.
Jake.
I'm watering the lawn.
Jake, Han and Carbonite. Low torque Carbonite. There we go. Chevelle, just a little Chevelle, just evil Chevelle. Now you guys are getting it. Well, come on. Isn't that fucking hilarious? Come on. That's fucking huge hilarious. Apparently Jim with no job of money. Come on, you guys. That's pure fucking gold. I don't bring the bullshit ones to you. There's a lot of bullshit. And the Barbara Eden one was nostalgic, yes. And the one with Mrs. Four beating the shit out of a dude with a fucking hammer. All right, that was personal. I got it. But come on, the Jimmy one, that reference, that's fucking timeless. All right, look, you guys. I gotta go. I do. Tommy B said it's been a couple hours. Listen, I'm gonna sign off right now. I am. I gotta stop reading the chat. We'll do more later. And I promise you, Wesley Walls, $50. Have a good night, y'all. Just because I had some extra cash from the strip club for the Whiskey Fund General. It's not just that, Wesley. It's watch what you're gonna do here. Hold on, everybody. Here it comes. Oh my fucking Christ! Did you see? He fucking blew it the fuck up. There's dudes in there that are going, what happened? There's subscribers. There's members. They're all in daze right now. All right, I have to address them. You got knocked the fuck out. Oh, that was great. Jesus H. Tap Dancing Christ. Wesley Walls fucking took it to the mat on that one. And $2 from Michelle coming in. Anybody else leaving? It could be. He's right there. No, he just clambered in there. All right, look, we're going to end it right there. That was fucking climactic. Mrs. Four, I just want to share one thing. You asked with PayPal, with your $20, Mrs. Four put $20 on PayPal correctly at the right time. But you know who wasn't diligent in their responsibilities? Gen X Mom. Oh, she's nonchalant. She walks around now like she doesn't have to keep check. I checked. I panicked. I apologized when it was right in front of me. I was trying very hard. Mrs. Four, she doesn't. She's like, 45 minutes ago, there was a question. And you praise her. You all praise her. She doesn't do a good job at that. Not even close. She didn't care. As if she happens to look at her phone and it happens to have a little thing there. Then she might pull it up and read it. Oh, then she's vocal. You guys are backing the wrong horse. Now, again, if you're under the age of 40, you don't know what that means, backing the wrong horse, you're going to have to go look it up. That's a racing term from a long time ago. Look up Kentucky Derby. You just go look it up because it's going to take you a while. We'll be done by then. But that's an old phrase. You're backing the wrong horse. This guy right here. That's grade A, AAA registered, 100% pure beef. This guy. Or at least I used to feel that way. I'm not anymore. There's a little more fat than there is meat. But still, it's the phrase that counts here. It's the saying we're getting at. Listen, I'll leave this up for a little while. Leave the chat up. I'll turn off the mic and we'll do some stuff. I can't put up the ending music because we got flagged again for using I gave credit, said you could use our ending music if you give us credit. So I did. And apparently that wasn't good enough because I didn't spell something right or do something right. So anyway, I'm just letting you guys know that thank you guys for hanging out. I've been drinking. I'm going to keep drinking. I'm going to the chat room. Ladies between the sheets, please put up the chat room once again for everybody. We'd love to have you over there. Lionheart OG. Yeah, pay attention. If you're in a room with Lionheart, if you're talking with Lionheart, he's the fucking overlord of the chat room. It's his chat room. Don't fucking come crying to me about shit. You behave yourself. There's one rule that Gen Z kid put. It's written when you show up in the chat room. One rule. Don't be a dick. That's it. Don't be a dick. Everything else falls under Lionheart's grasp. If he likes you, you stay. If you get along, you stay. You can be opinionated. You can talk shit. You can stay. It's fun. There's crazy shit going on there. But don't get out of line. Or you fucking done. Low Torque, $2. He's trying to cause some damage there. I know he is. Nope, nothing there. Not going to happen. Didn't happen. Members only or Senor Lopez. No, it's not members only. There is one room that I frequent. It's like the back of the club when the club is pumping and hopping, and everything's going as that's the club. That's where you guys are all hanging out. And I walk through the club and I nod and I say hey, but I go to the back room in there and there's a little tiny door that I barely fit through. When I'm lathered up with butter, I can fit my fat ass through, and I squeeze into that next room. Once I'm there, it's the general's headquarters. There's a few people we hang out with. We can still hear all the music. We can see everything you guys are typing. We can look around the rooms, but I hang out there. I do. And so I'm going to drink. I'm going to get up from here. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to come back here with my drink. I'm going to sit down, and I'm going to change my hat. Clark Kent, different person. Yeah. And I'll be there. So I'm going to go. $10, Maddie B. One more? Fuck, Maddie, seriously? Seriously, one more? All right, baby. One more. Maddie B dropped the 10 spot. Can't refuse him. One more. Here we go. This is not just for Wesley Walls and his 50 that fucking grenaded the whole fucking room. I'll never forget what he did with that. This is also for Maddie B. One more. And Scott Fricker. Cheers. Tomorrow is Friday. Yeah, it is. Let's see if Scott does some damage here with the 20 spot. One more look before we go. No. That room's prime for a 50 or a C note, but I'm going to go. Listen, thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate every single person that wastes their time with us here at Gen X Talks. My son, Gen Z Kid, really appreciates it. You're helping his brand. You're helping push his agenda forward. He's trying really hard. He's sick right now with COVID, or he'd be right down here giving me shit. So thank God for COVID. I'm going to go, you guys. Who knows? I might get COVID and not be back ever again. Maybe this is our last broadcast. Who the fuck knows? But if not, I will see you guys on the flip side. Thank you for showing up. One last one. We are a bunch of extras. We are the Legion of X. We are the bottom of the glass nation. And I'm proud to be part of it with you guys. Thank you very much. And we'll catch all you guys on the flip side.